When we open the book of Numbers, chapter 2, it feels at first like we've stepped into the architect's tent, a place filled with measurements, arrangements, directions, and structure. Many readers breeze past it, thinking it's little more than an ancient blueprint of where each tribe should pitch their tents. But as always, when we slow down and listen the way our ancestors once listened in the wilderness, we discover that this chapter is not about logistics at all. It's about revelation. It's about identity. It's about a divine pattern being stitched into the sand right in front of Israel's eyes. The chapter begins with a command spoken from the heart of the camp, from the tent of appointment itself. And immediately, we sense something intentional. Israel is not free to arrange themselves however they please. They cannot scatter according to comfort or convenience. Their formation must reflect the presence in their midst. Yahweh positions them around his dwelling like living stones forming a sanctuary wall. The tabernacle sits in the center, not simply as a tent but as a declaration. My presence will remain at the heart of my people. Picture it with the eyes of imagination. 12 tribes surrounding the Levites, who themselves encircle the tabernacle. A sea of tents stretching toward every horizon, each arranged not randomly, not by preference, but by calling. Above it all, the cloud by day and the fire by night hover like a holy crown. If you could rise above the wilderness and look down from heaven's vantage point, the formation would look unmistakably like a cross. Not symbolically, not vaguely, precisely. A prophetic shadow laid onto the desert floor thousands of years before Golgotha ever touched history. To the east, where the sun rises and new things begin, he places the banner of Judah. Judah, the tribe of praise, of kingship, of Messiah himself. Their standard leads the entire nation forward. Issachar and Zebulun join them, forming a sunrise division that embodies revelation, diligence, and faithful provision. When Israel moved, Judah moved first. When Israel rested, Judah rested closest to the dawn. Always the hint of the king before the king came. To the south, the right hand of the sunrise, Reuben takes his place. The firstborn who never fully walked in the fullness of his inheritance, yet is still honored in the order of placement. Simeon and Gad stand with him, forming a southern wall that both remembers the past and guards the nation from the direction of Egypt. Yahweh positions strength where wounds once lived, redemption where bondage once lingered. To the west, where the sun sets and shadows lengthen, the banner of Ephraim rises. Ephraim, the name that echoes fruitfulness even in exile, scattering even while multiplying. Manasseh and Benjamin flank him, forming a western division that speaks of forgotten increase and fierce devotion. This side of the camp carried the weight of future prophecy, hinting toward the long exile of the northern tribes and their promised return. Yet the placement of tribes is only one layer of what Elohim is doing here. The deeper layer sits quietly in the names of the men chosen to represent each tribe, the leaders whose names are spoken aloud in Numbers 2. Hebrew names are never decorative. They are declarations. And Yahweh, who loves to hide messages in plain sight, embeds something extraordinary in these names. Now, most people read Numbers 2 in the order the tribes appear. But what happens if we read the meanings of the leaders' names in the order of their tribe sizes, from the smallest tribe to the largest? Suddenly, the wilderness begins whispering something entirely unexpected. Before we listen, let's set aside the Hebrew names and just hear the message hidden beneath them. A tapestry woven from meanings alone, spoken like a prophetic song across the desert. Elohim will recompense, for the Father is judge. My God adds and is my rock. Though my brother is broken, what is given by Elohim will stand. His intervention is sure. My God hears, for he is Father. My brother is help, and the peace of Elohim goes before us. The prophet, the one who leads forth, guides the way. Read that again. This is not random. This is not accidental. This is the heart of Numbers 2 laid bare. a wilderness prophecy stitched into the very names of Israel's leaders. A message of restoration, justice, divine addition, stability, intervention, fatherhood, help, peace, and the guiding presence of the coming prophet, Messiah himself. And at the end of this message stands Nahshon, the leader of Judah. His name means the one who goes before, the forerunner, the one who breaks open the way, the perfect shadow of the one who would one day be called the author and finisher of faith, the Messiah who goes before his people. This is the mystery of Numbers 2, not a diagram, not a logistical record, not an outdated campsite map, but a sermon in symbols, a prophecy in placement, a whisper of Messiah in the formation of tents. The wilderness, it turns out, was never empty. It was filled with the presence of Elohim and the shadows of the kingdom to come. The tribes weren't merely arranged, they were aligned. Their leaders weren't merely named, they were prophesying. The camp wasn't simply organized, it was preaching. Numbers 2 shows us that Israel was never meant to be a wandering crowd. They were meant to be a formed people, a called people, a centered people, a nation shaped around presence and led by the one who goes before. And here in this quiet chapter, this so-called blueprint, we discover a revelation woven into the sand. Elohim restores, judges, adds, strengthens, intervenes, hears, helps, brings peace, and leads his people forward.